Hey guys, Connor here with Chrome Designs, and thank you so much for watching this video. Today I've got a very exciting Photoshop tutorial to release to you guys. It's been a while since I've actually worked with this program. I've kind of been working on more the motion side. However, I've actually worked on something that looked quite good, had an overall effect, and it was a glossy orb. If I take a look over at my Facebook page, I released this a few days ago, August 21st, about just under a week ago. And this orb is something that, well, first of all, we're going to be creating today. And you see how the reflections and kind of give the studio look, and the whole scene and everything about it gives an overall nice effect. A few people wanted the tutorial, so here it is. So I think without further ado, we'll get started. We're in Photoshop. Obviously, mine is 1920 by 1080. I'll go File New, 1920, 1080, and a background color is white. Bearing in mind, this size is rather large. So should you be creating something, everything may be downgraded depending on your whole canvas size. So just first of all unlock that layer by double clicking, and we'll go ahead and get an eclipse. We'll make the color black for now on the white background, see it, and drag it out, hold shift, keep it in proportion. This is going to be the back sphere, so make it quite large. This is going to be the total outer radius, so that looks good. We'll then duplicate that layer by clicking Ctrl J and then hide it, and on the first one we're going to go back and we're going to go and add a bevel and emboss. In a bevel, smooth, everything's fine. Put the depth up to maximum possible, 1000 I believe that is, and then just increase the size to something like so, whatever looks good. That's okay. And then on this layer we'll untick it again and we'll go Ctrl J, or Ctrl T rather, not duplicate, my bad. Shift and Alt, and we'll drag it down to a nice size, something like so. You see how if you look in the top left it goes white and then it goes to a black. You want them to be kind of even size, so that will be okay. And I click OK, and so you see the white and the black's roughly even. And that's going to be the outer shade, and that's going to be like the silvery gloss as you just seen on the bevel. So it's going to be this outer ring here, and the thing we just made that we just viewed is going to be this the blue. So going back, you can see we'll quickly add a gradient overlay and style radial, and we'll quickly get the whole blue look, so we can kind of differentiate them at ease. Get the right kind of shade of blue here. Maybe this one just a little bit darker, like so. There we go, that's looking good. Maybe change the angle to 0 just to increase it a little bit. Maybe the scale, like so. There we go. So you see it's kind of coming together. There you've got the inner edge. However, we're going to edit this further in the bevel and emboss settings. Firstly, you're going to add a color overlay, and I'm going to change the color to white. Like so. We'll add an outer glow so you can differentiate it from the background. Maybe just increase the size a bit. Add a drop shadow as well. Lower the distance to 0 and the size maybe just a little bit. Maybe in fact have the distance about 2 or something. Lower the opacity to about 50, and there we go. Now under bevel and emboss, obviously you can change the angle, the altitude, and the gloss contour to really get different effects. And the gloss contour, I usually like to use this 2 bumps one. It gives as you see, it gives a really nice effect. A lot going on, really metallic-like. We'll just edit with the colors. We'll change the highlight mode to normal on both, like so. The first color will be mid-tone grey, I'll say, and the second color will be a nice light white, like so. And I'll maybe change the angle to 180, like so. Alternate it just, in fact, 85. There we go, that's looking good. I'll maybe lighten this up a little bit and add a darker shade here. Really get some more contrast in there. Maybe lower the color overlay just a tad, like so. And there we have it. Now we've got a really nice effect going on there. However, we really want to get the text in, so to do this, make a new layer, text. Or if I go over here, you see how the text looks like it's inside the sphere, and it makes it look like it's indented into the blue. So that's the effect we'll be working on. I'm going to type in CD. If you don't know what CD is, then you shouldn't be here. No, I'm only joking. CD obviously standing for Chrome Designs, my channel. I'm using the font Slant. That gives a nice effect, I feel, for this. That it's kind of been manually edited, despite that it hasn't. So just rotate it, make it bigger. Bit too much. There we go. A nice effect. And you see that it's overlapping on that, so that's not something that you want. You want it to kind of be integrated under the inner bevel. So to do this, we'll first of all rasterize the text layer by right-clicking Rasterize Type, and then on the outer, in fact no, on the inner sphere, this one here, the blue one, we'll Command-click on the thumbnail, and this will select everything inside of that. However, we want the opposite. We want to select everything outside of this, so we'll go Command or Control-Shift-I, which is inverted the selection onto the CD layer, and we'll simply press backspace on our keyboard, and there we have it. So that's looking good. The text looks like it's integrated. However, it looks a bit flat, a bit 2D, so add a bit of depth. We'll zoom in just a tad. We'll get the nice indents effect on the text. So to do this, first of all, you want the text to be a really dark charcoal grey, just before black. Maybe a mistake I made in rasterizing it beforehand. However, not to bother, we'll just go to Hue and Saturation. We'll make sure we press this black and white arrow, which means it kind of creates a clipping mask and goes to the layer below, which is the text layer. And we'll just lower the lightness. Increase it just a tad. Something like that. There we go. Obviously, this can be changed as it's an adjustment layer, so it doesn't go straight on and means you can't edit it later. It will always be there. So now actually editing the text. Basically, it's going to be adding an inner shadow. So just go to inner glow, change it blend mode to normal rather, and the color to black. Maybe just increase the size a little bit, and there we go. We want some ridges around the outside, so to do this, go to drop shadow. We use the opacity of about 40, blend mode to overlay, change the color to white, change the size to 0, the spread to 100, and the distance to about 2 or 1 or 3, you know, whatever floats your boat. I quite like 2. However, it really does depend on your canvas size. If you want it to be noticed, 2 maybe not quite be noticed enough, so I'll actually put a 3. There we go. Maybe add an inner shadow to create a little bit more depth towards the layers, like so. You want it to be enough that it's noticeable. However, you don't want it to be so much that it looks like it's just a gradient. You want the person that's viewing it to actually know that it's indented. So that's looking good. The text looks okay. However, you want to get some more depth between the outer ring, the gloss, and the blue. So let's go into the blue layer, the top one, and go inner glow. Change the blend mode to normal and black. Increase the size as you wish, like so. And there we go. So now we've literally got most things sorted. However, we need some reflections going on to make it get that extra edge of kind of glossiness. So to do this, we'll make a new layer, and we'll go to the ellipse tool again. We'll change the color to white, and we'll simply draw one out at the top here. That's looking good. Place it to the top. Now add a layer mask by clicking to this button down here, and go to gradient, and make sure it's on black to white and linear, and drag up like so, and you see that it's created a nice fair bit of gloss. However, it's a bit too harsh, so we'll lower the opacity to about something like 70. Now we're going to do this again, but we're going to make it a little bit less strong, so it's going to be more of a slight reflection. So we'll draw out another sphere, or ellipse rather, and we'll place it in the same place again, and maybe make it just a little bit bigger, and we'll drag that under the previous layer like so. And again, we're going to add the layer mask and the gradient. Make sure, bear in mind, the gradient's got to be on black to white like so. and drag up, hold shift to get it straight, and there we go. And then lower this opacity a little bit more, something about 50. And there you have it. One final one. Final little bit of gloss. I'll make a sphere like so, going down. More of an ellipse, I suppose, using the ellipse tool. I'll make it more of an egg shaped. Position it at the top to the bottom. Add the layer mask and go to the green overlay and literally do exactly the same. Hold shift to get it straight, and there you have it. Drag it below. Obviously lower the opacity because that's rather strong. Something like that. That's looking rather nice. One other thing I like to add another bit, adds a little bit more reflection to it. Make a new layer just above the different shapes, the ellipses, before the text layer, like so. Go to the brush tool, and I'm using the font brush, not the font, the size 600. This suits the canvas size that I'm using. Obviously, if you're using smaller, the brush will be smaller. If you're using bigger, the brush will need to be bigger. So make sure the colour's on white for starters, and we'll click, position it in the middle and go a little bit up, as if it's facing upwards, and then lower the opacity just a little bit more, like so. And that's looking really nice. You're really getting a nice glossy orb going on there. Go actual pixels. One thing I'm not too fond of is maybe the colours on the sphere. It doesn't look as kind of pure. So this colour, just trying to find a good colour here. That's quite a nice colour. Something like that. Okay, that'll do. That'll do a donkey. Anyway, yep, so I think that's pretty much it. Obviously everything you can change, for example the bevel and emboss, you know, change it to whatever floats your boat really, like so. Drag it around, get a nice effect that you wish. Maybe add a contour if you want that. That again spices things up. Anything to kind of get that unnatural kind of reflection towards a surrounding or whatever. But anyway, that's all for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I've been Connor of Chrome Designs, and I'll see you guys soon.